Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, March 13th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. Interesting thing is that our clocks here went haywire. They all had different times. Strangest thing. So that's why I was just told that daylight savings time was last night. That's why I'm a little bit late. Not all. It'd be fun. It'd be interesting to have wristwatches finally just do it by themselves. How we treat others shows others how to best treat us. Being ever so gentle, forgiving, and patient with everyone you meet today, as if they were all once little babies in need of love. Who knows? Maybe they were, and maybe you were, or still are. Only you know how to best take care of that little one inside of you. As long as we hold on to blame, we cannot forgive. As long as we do not forgive, we cannot love. Grace alone. Throughout the course of a lifetime, we are all going to experience some form of pain and suffering. This is a requirement for being born as a human being, as it enables us to know what true humility is all about. It is inevitable that at some period in our lives we will attract a situation that is void of pleasure and filled with trauma. This trauma, however, is not an empty hole filled with darkness. There is a very large gold mine underneath it. Every curse always contains a deep eternal loving, and every deep eternal loving has some curse within it. Most people use blessing, but blessing, when you boil it down, means be less. A lot of tricks played on this civilization. Whenever we are having some inner conflict, the curse is the only thing we can see, while the deep eternal loving is hidden underneath and will be revealed down the road. For instance, when you understand that we come into these lives, we have already been born as gods, and then the body is provided through birth. And we incarnate into the body, we move into the body, and we experience life. Then we leave the body. And unfortunately for us, our memories are zapped. They are taken away. And people say, well, how do you know that? When you come into a life, you begin to understand, and this is this civilization's path of finally removing the illusion on why we incarnate into these bodies repeatedly, reincarnate, but have no memories. None. Well, we have residual in the beginning for about 4 or 5 years, but that's it. Now, wouldn't it make sense for us to have the memory so it would assist us in the next life, should we choose to go into the next life? Many things are skewed with us as a people and a civilization, and for us to start questioning this is paramount. Not from an anger or head, ego mind, but from a heart mind, to understand that why is that? Why do we, all of us, as gods, lose our memory every single time we incarnate. Believe me, all of you have had thousands of lifetimes. We all have. So, it's the matrix in this synthetic universe. Pain and suffering is understandable because when you have a first life, whatever one that was, in the physical form of experience, you learn. We learn about things like pain and suffering and trauma and all of it. Why would we need to incessantly go over that in our lifetimes over and over and over again without memory? It would almost seem sadistic, wouldn't it? That the controllers of this quadrant of the galaxy are sadistic with us gods. In the world of manifesting, there are truly no accidents or coincidences in our world. No accidents, no coincidences. We are each fully responsible for every thought we're entertaining, which inadvertently attracts the situations and experiences we encounter. We are powerful, manifesting beings who are creating each experience of our lives. We can only attract a dramatic or traumatic experience because we are deeply unaware of our intuitive guidance and not listening to what it's saying. When we are ignorant at our higher self and ignoring the personal vital messages every day, we are unconsciously asking to slide into more pain, play the victim role, and receive a much deeper lesson than that will jolt us so we wake up to our spiritual path. Isn't this interesting that we, from different perspectives, why would we need to be jolted if our memories had not been taken away? We would know, wouldn't we? We would know. And we wouldn't have this incessant reincarnation for thousands of years. We would know, we would learn, each lifetime would teach us as we accumulated life experience in physical form. We would learn much more deeper, and we would connect much more quicker to our spiritual paths. Most of us have a subconscious basement stuffed with past traumas stored up from early in this lifetime, or even from a previous past life we've lived. In order to function optimally in this world, we have had to lock the door to this old pain and hide away the key. This buried wound is then pulsing underneath all the time, hidden from our daily lives until we get close to another human being, fall in love, or open up to an intimate conversation with someone. Then these wounds suddenly come to the surface and the opportunity to experience forgiveness begins. When the violin can forgive the past, it starts singing. When the violin can stop worrying about the future, it will become such a drunk, laughing nuisance that God will then lean down and start combing you into his hair. When the violin can forgive every wound caused by others, the heart starts singing. Prophets. If you truly want to transform your life from the inside out, learn the healing habit of self-forgiveness. It is truly the most powerful, revolutionary, and life-changing habit that any of us can choose to practice on a daily basis. There is nothing more effective and transformational than you do with your time here on earth. The energy of forgiveness will heal your life, bring kindness back into your relationships, cure you of any illness you are facing, free you from repeating the traumatic pattern you've been in. Sure, it may take you weeks or months to train your heart to let go. Trust that this is the highest path and choose to be happy instead of right about things. Yet as you repetitively fall into the forgiveness vibration, the feeling it will bring you is so liberating that you will naturally create a habit out of it. The key is choosing to be consistently kind and gentle with yourself and everyone, every day, in every way. With practice, you'll attain mastery over the commanding, demanding ego. And this soon equates to finding long-term happiness in your relationships, financial success, and your body's physical, emotional, and mental health. The experience of forgiveness is real and not difficult to achieve for any of us. In fact, it's as easy as a snowflake falling down from the sky. You simply are letting go, trusting the winds of life, relaxing into your experience, and knowing you will soon land in home sweet home. When you are in this light snowflake state, you are relaxed inside and can effortlessly move out of the repetitive, hard, heavy thoughts your mind might be swirling in. With just a little self-love, you can shift an old pattern that has been destroying your relationships for years and create something completely brand new. So let's practice experiencing the forgiveness vibration right now. This way, you'll already be better at it tomorrow. Start with taking one long, slow, deep breath into your belly. Feel what is the heaviest burden or weight you're carrying inside you. Notice the energy around your heart, deep in your stomach, or weighing on your back and shoulders. Once you find the tension, give it permission to be there. It is already there and not going anywhere. So just accept it for what it is right now. Now, bring more and more awareness into the tension, heaviness, tightness, or whatever pain you're holding inside. Be aware of it without trying to change it. Notice where it is exactly inside you and how long it's been there. Look to see if there is a certain time, person, or place when it tends to flare up stronger. The longer you can allow for the feeling of this pain to be there, the deeper the roots of forgiveness can dig down inside and penetrate through to the core, reaching into every cell of your being. And this is a miracle. The moment that you realize that there is no way to make a home, then this whole existence is home. Then wherever you are, you're at home. Course in Miracles. You believe there is nothing inside you that is seeking forgiveness. Look a little deeper. Use a magnifying glass. Broaden your definition of forgiveness. What if forgiveness simply meant loving you? Our childhoods are often filled with very subtle, dramatic moments containing judgments about the world, ourselves, and others. We all were conditioned to be like our parents, who perhaps didn't have the luxury of having years of therapy and healing from their childhood. So we are dealing with generations of heavy conditioning, self-sabotaging thought patterns, narrow-minded beliefs, and unconscious, unforgiving habits which we have no idea are there. Don't be deceived for a momentum, especially if you think your life is going just fine. There is a hungry tiger in the room. The only way you'll know the truth is by taking a deep, long look inside yourself, into your past, and notice where you are not 100% at peace. Unless you are already a master at loving you, there's always going to be some crack or crevice that hasn't been filled with love. This crack is what perpetuates our mission as human beings, giving us a purpose and a reason to evolve in love on earth. The energy of forgiveness starts with a choice. The very moment you choose it, your energy shifts from living in the deep dungeon of self-neglect, addictions, and unhappiness to the kingdom of light and love inside your heart. It is within your heart where you'll find the truth, and this will set you free. The heart is the secret to your life, where you'll realize what real empowerment is and how to manifest total freedom, abundance, and success on all levels. It is from the heart that we can finally relax and experience where the bliss of pure being abides. By seeing forgiveness as being deeply gentle with you, everything will change. Just know that this is a highly evolved, conscious way of being that is rooted in automatically responding to others' emotional infections with gentleness, kindness, compassion, and patience. Practice this automatic response, and each day will unfold in the most heavenly ways. The more quickly you can surrender to loving yourself and choosing love over fear, the easier it becomes to slip into this healing sensation the next time drama comes flying around the corner. If you stop to really think about it for yourself, truly, what is forgiveness to you? What actually happens inside you, in any of us, when we choose to forgive ourselves or another? How does it feel in our bodies? It's a feeling of letting go, trusting life, and surrendering to the greater good. Yet, how will this show up in our practical daily lives? If we're having trouble knowing where and how to start this forgiveness experience, notice if you have any yearning to feel a warm, deep harmony connected with everyone, instead of an old, cold, distant, isolating way of feeling separate and lonely. Anytime you feel wronged by another, it's the universe testing you to see if you'll play the game of being small, separate, and cold. No matter what they said or did to you, at some point you will need to forgive them if you want true peace inside. Again, no matter what was said or done to you, the bigger the argument the ego has to be right about its case, the longer the forgiveness process will take. There is always a deeper need inside us to be happy, in love, in peace, than to be right about anything. Forgiveness is the golden key to this path. As long as our egos are still running the show, there is always going to be some part of yourself who gets hurt by others and is identifying with their judgments, anger, or wounded feelings of pain. One could go to the extent of saying all forgiveness is self-forgiveness, letting go and loving yourself. From this perspective, there truly is no other, and we are all simply just one being. This is perhaps the most enlightened approach to life, if we can truly live it from the heart. We already are all so deeply, intimately interconnected. So by forgiving yourself as if you were the other, you will liberate you in the end. The other person will attain success. To that healing feeling you're then radiating, making it much easier to forgive themselves. The choiceless truth of who you are is revealed to be permanently here, permeating everything, not a thing, and not separate from anything. Engaging. Perhaps any of us or someone that we may know, excuse me, is stuck in an emotionally negative cycle, repeating the habit of coming down hard on yourself or the other with blame, criticizing, being negative, or just unkind. If this has happened for weeks, months, or years, the most important question to ask is not, why is this happening to me? Yet rather, why is it happening for me? And what can I do to transcend this vicious cycle? The first step is to take responsibility for the experience you're creating and make a firm decision to change it. Shift your thoughts, expand your vibration, and you'll change your life. Make it a priority that you are sick and tired of playing the angry victim game and are now climbing out of this old dumpster and up the hill of happiness. A resilient decision is the main foundation for whether you will find yourself successful at shifting out of your destructive, unforgiving pattern or not. It's often the hardest step in life, that this is the most important one to take. This is about taking time to feel into the deepest root system of your greatest pain, heaviest burden, or most negative belief about you, and taking responsibility for creating it. This painful experience is your lifelong teacher that may be with you until the day you leave this body. Once you make friends with it, you will manifest something new in you, in your life. If your mind continues to defend itself, arguing that you are not responsible for this pain, then ask it if it is willing to be free from it. As long as the mind continues to go back into the pattern of criticizing, blaming, belittling, or degrading another, then it's your responsibility to transcend the mind and see that this is your life's golden opportunity for healing. You are the one who gets to turn on your forgiveness engine each morning. From the moment you are awake, start loving you and letting go of the heavy old past self who is not good enough. Keep dipping in the releasing, healing river of letting go, and each time you may find a new level of responsibility that you can take on. Any hard and heavy thoughts you've entertained in the past can be freed, giving you an experience of total liberation. The more often you go inside to love you and forgive yourself, the more empowered and lovable you'll feel that day. You'll be quicker to instantly reverse any negative thought or energetic flow and find the freeing feeling of letting it all go. Think of this as a course in the training your brain to be free. When we all can continuously return to a current of positive, loving thoughts about ourselves, which sprout up from any emotional gutter of pain, the healing habit gets formed. We soon will find ourselves automatically responding to this life with an authentic, open heart that is filled with self-love and self-forgiveness. Every time we practice shifting our attention back to loving you, the world around you and inside of you has to respond to a more loving, healing, and sensitive manner. Just remember that any time a new habit is formed, there is an adjustment stage. In the beginning, it may feel uncomfortable and even wrong to be gentle with yourself. You may not make you or your heart a priority. As you practice choosing to think differently about this, you'll expand the healing feelings inside and raise your vibration. If this is all super new to you, and you cannot imagine not pulling out the hammer to come down hard on yourself, you may need to look deeper inside for a bigger reason to put down your weapon. Blame is an invention of the wounded ego. Love knows no blame, only compassion. Blaming holds you in the energy of duality. a victim, an abuser. Forgiving is a direct way of reclaiming your power, freeing yourself to love beyond judgment, grace alone. If you think you first need to find a sufficiently good reason before you can forgive yourself or another from the past, think again. You might want to imagine what it's like to remain in this internal battle of pain your entire life and never discover what the experience of total freedom, healing, or enlightenment is. Remember, the ego is a master of being right and never being completely satisfied with anything loving. Easy or simple, simply choosing to forgive because it feels lighter inside your heart is the only real reason you need. Give yourself at least 21 days to create the healing habit to reprogram yourself. Your body will learn to automatically flip on the forgiveness switch and soak into your own personal self-soothing pool of love. And soon, you will become addicted to doing it simply because it feels so damn good. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I am sure that we all are. First thing that we do, relax the body. Relax, relax, relax. The body is a magnetic sponge. It absorbs everything. It absorbs fear, anger, hatred, greed, everything. And it stores it in the subconscious mind. And the real interesting thing is the subconscious mind replays it over and over again to you. That's why it seems like at times, have you ever felt like you're going over old tracks? Because that's what it does. So knowing this, and knowing that we've been programmed since being in baby bodies, we have been programmed by others how to think, how to feel, how to breathe, how to walk, how to talk, how to eat. I mean, it goes on. And we follow along because of this programming through the ego mind. So the body takes one heck of a beating. Most of us don't know how much tension, stress, and fear it stores. We go through life not understanding that this is a magnetic, supermagnetic sponge. So being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with oneself at all times is absolutely imperative. Forgiving always, forgiving yourself. At first it does sound a little silly. It sounds a little crazy to some people. But you can stub your toe and say, hey, toe, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Forgive me. And, you've come across people that seem angry, cantankerous, irritable, that you get a little unnerved getting around them. You ever done that? You got it. You don't even know them, but you get around them and their energy, their frequency. It's just doesn't taste good. It doesn't feel good. And that's because a lot of people on this planet are experiencing love under pressure. And they don't know how to express it to themselves. How the heck are they going to express it to anybody else? So relaxing the body. How do we? The breath. The breath is paramount. It is divine positive energy. Why is it that? Well, you enter the body. You're the God. You're the power source. You power up that body. The body begins to breathe, the lungs, everything comes online. So the body is able to sustain the kingdom of God, you, within it, so that you can experience the physical life, the material physical world that you've created so that you can experience it. What else would we do as gods? Float around in the existence of non-existence? No, we create things so that we can experience them. We create them to experience them. This is our endless journey. So the breath, paramount. Focus on the breath. Your body will relax. Listening to the breath, focusing on breath, real easy in through the nose, real easy out through the mouth. That stills the mind, the ego, the subconscious mind. It stills them. What does that mean? It means that you don't pay attention to them. You are not engaging with them. So therefore they don't exist in the now. They don't exist in the now. And the now is everything. The now is the past, the present, and the future. You create the future in the now. Every moment that you're in the now, you're creating the past. Every moment that you're in the now, you're creating the future. It all happens in the now. And the reason that so many of us are not in the now, and we don't practice being in the now, is because the ego mind controls us. The ego mind manages us. The ego mind directs us, tells us how to think, what to do. And that's why the ego mind is never satisfied. That's why you can see this apparent with this civilization on this planet. The ego mind is never satisfied. And it's highly insecure. And you witness it every day. And it's a heck of a teacher for all of us. The ego mind, war, conflict, death, murder, kill, all of it. Fear, aggression, disrespect, all of it. Ego mind. I have $1 trillion. It's not enough. I need 10 trillion. That's not enough. I need 20 trillion. That's not enough. I need 100 trillion, 50 billion trillion. That's not enough. Now I want more power. I have to have more power. I have all the money, but still not enough. I have to get more. This is what destroys civilizations in the end. The ego mind. Because of their unawareness of who and what they truly are. And instead of embracing the heart mind, they embrace the ego mind. And by being in the now, that all vaporizes. Relaxing the body. The body has tension, stress, and fear and anger stored in different areas. You might have a backache and not know why. You might be in the greatest shape you've ever been in your life and have a backache. And you can't figure out why. Go get an x-ray. Nothing's wrong. Do all kinds of testing. Nothing's wrong. Where is it? It's your stress and tension being stored in that particular area of the body. But focusing on the breath is magical. Listening to the breath. That's it. Focusing and listening on the breath. Not moving a muscle. The body will deflate. Stress, tension, fears, anxieties fall away. And any of them that the ego mind tries to slap you with. Turn, give them a big body hug and say, I don't really care to have you around. I understand you as a fear. I thank you for that. But I don't need you. Can you see where our journey has always been within? And can you see and understand that the majority of us, the journey has always been outside of us? This is why we're so confused. This is why we carry fear, sorrow, anguish, stress, anxiety, envy, revenge, all of these things. That's why. When you truly, deeply love yourself, the body is always at ease. It's true. When you truly, deeply love yourself, your body is at ease at all times. It does not get stressed. You go with the flow. You have downstream thinking. You aren't concerned or even bothered by others' opinions of you. Really, you're not. It just kind of bounces off you. You're not here for other people. You're here for you. That's it. All of us are one. There's just no contesting it. We are one of one consciousness. And we're many in physical form, all experiencing different ways, different things. So that the one God can experience all of that which we make up. So you want to relax the body? Focus on your breath. Sit still. Listen to the breath. Watch what happens. Now, if you look inside the body, because you know you're not the body, the name, the character, the personality, your status in this material world, you're the God. And you see 7 lights going from your tailbone to the top of the head. These are beautiful lights. Each one's a different color. Not very much deeper than the colors here on Earth. And so what are they? Well, on this planet they're called chakras. And what's the definition of chakra? Wheel. These are wheels of light. And they're spirit etheric, spirit etheric energy. See them. Actually see them through your heart mind. Now we, gods that we are in the body, are spirit etheric energy, omnipotently powerful. So we flow through these chakras, these wheels of light. And we know everything there is to know about these bodies, right down to the quantum quark. Blood flow, muscle tension, relaxation, all the tissues, all the organs. As long as we're in this body, we know it intimately. This is another reason for us to go within and be able to open the door to the God that we are within this body. Once we discover this, we will then begin to understand that we can heal this body that we're in a blink of the eye. So we are the power of healing. Now picture yourself standing in front of 3 paths. You're standing in the center path, the now. On the left is the past path, and on the right is the future path. You notice that these paths look very similar. You see the trees canopied, make a canopy over the path, kind of like a roof, a ceiling. And they're all shimmering gold, the leaves, the bark, the branches, everything. And you look at the path, and the path is this vibrant, brilliant, emerald green, flaming light. And it's a grass. It looks like a grass, flaming grass. But you do notice that the one on the left and the one on the right are extremely worn, and the one in the middle, the now, looks pristine. It looks like it's never been used. Now, we all go on the past, every one of us, because of the fact that we reminisce and we've had good times in life. So we decide to visit it on occasion, reminisce, and review it, and savor it, and embrace it. We have our own libraries. The subconscious mind is very vast. The subconscious mind contains past lives, present lives, contains many, many different experiences. And a lot of it isn't even our experiences. So sometimes we'll go up there, we'll open the door, turn on the light. We'll go in and we'll get some movies and some books and pictures, and we'll sit in the easy chair and we'll watch the movies and review the books and the pictures. And it's fun, nostalgia. But then we put everything back on the shelf and we turn off the light, shut the door, and move forward in life. However, some of us, and I don't believe that it is conscious, I believe it's unconscious, we'll stay there so long that we bring that past into a future that doesn't exist. We create that future from that past, and we relive that past and that future. This is why a lot of people will say no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, we all go into the future, too, because we get impatient and we want to know things ahead of time. I don't think any of us are exempt from that in this lifetime, because I think we all at one time or another have traveled there, where we want to know things in advance. We get frustrated. We get in a hurry. We get anxious. And that's the ego mind, by the way. And so we push the envelope and we try to force the door open. And we go and we ask, what if this happens? Or what's going to happen if this happens? Or when is this going to happen for me? And it's always a time. When? Or why? Or who? And we do this, and sometimes a lot of us will go to external authority. And external authority are astrologers and tarot readers and psychics. And because you want this information now. You want to know. You're desperate. You're tired of trying to figure it out yourself, so you go to external authority. And so once you go to external authority, you get some information. And to you, if that external authority is credible, you're going to believe it to a certain extent. Then, when it doesn't happen for you, what do? You suffer. You're disappointed, irritated, period, let down. And isn't it interesting that all the answers that we seek and have ever sought in this lifetime or any lifetime is within us? And the whole time we spend most of our life seeking outside of ourselves to find the answers that are inside of us. Now, we know that we are the God, and we are the God in the body. The God is the heaven. The heaven isn't a place. That's one of the matrix tricks. Heaven is you, the God that you are. And then the body, which is earth. So you are heaven on earth. And you're consciously aware. It's a big difference than non-consciously aware. Consciously aware means that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. So we know that every step we take in these bodies, we're creating paradise. And we are shining our light 360 degrees, however we choose. We may have one direction or the whole direction, all the way around us. The light is the love that we are created from. There is no light that comes close to it anywhere. It is the brightest of all lights. And we flood this planet. This planet's being turned into a God planet paradise. No, it's not going to happen in 3 days. We can see it transitioning right now. All of it. And some of it isn't too pretty. That's understandable. There's no escape from it either. So if you were to take a starship off this planet, you went out far enough into the sacredness of space, and you looked at a planet where it was about the size of a basketball, you would notice that this planet glowed immensely. You would also notice all the lights around it in this universe paled in comparison. It would be like these lights were a lit candle in a dark room. Dim, dim, dim. I mean, goodness sakes, we have 8 billion of us in physical form, in humanoid physical form, that are gods, and then all the other physical forms that gods are inhabiting to experience those physical forms. Now, we have parts of ourselves, pieces of ourselves, that are not awake. They're part of us as the gods that we are. We deeply love them, but they're asleep. And they'll awake when they decide to awake. Then there are those of us, parts of us, that are consciously aware to a certain extent. These are the ones we interact with. We can because they're awake. So this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. The numbers are in gigaplexes. 1 gigaplex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. These are trillions of gigaplexes from trillions of universes and existences. It's never ending. And if you were to, well, okay, so there's a bunch of us that are 800 billion, 900 billion light years away. That means they're separate from us. No, it doesn't. That's the illusion. Because we keep looking at these bodies and we keep seeing ourselves as separate. That's why, see, that's the illusion. It keeps us thinking separate. It's part of the challenge, part of the learning. So we're all one. No matter where we're at, we're still one. This is all the archangels, cherubim, seraphim archetypes, all the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Medantia, Pel, Thoth, Yeshua, all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth, all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials. Now, the ascended masters, they have ascended into physical form and they have mastered physical form. They have ascended out of physical form. They hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. And the archangels, cherubim, seraphim archetypes, their civilization vibrate at a different frequency than we do. The gods within those physical forms are no different than the gods within these physical forms, the bodies we're in. So we don't see them like we see each other, but we do meet with them, and through thousands of lifetimes we've met with them. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're in a conversation with one and you say, well, hi, wait a minute, you're an angel. It doesn't happen that way. You most of the time you'll just talk with them. Could be a random conversation, could be any type of interaction, and it's usually afterwards that it just dawns on you that wasn't a regular conversation. That was an angel, and you feel bliss from discovering that. And they all have a particular message that they give us. They've been giving us this message for thousands of years, eons. And the message is, isn't it absolutely magna-glorious to be alive in these bodies? And it is. It's spectacular. It's stupendous. Because when we lose our memories, we don't know. We don't have a comparison. See, we don't know what it's like to be a god because we have amnesia of being a god. So how do we make a comparison and have the appreciation of being in these bodies? Self-understanding, going within, rediscovering who and what you are. Knowing that as gods, we don't drink, we don't eat, we don't sleep, we don't make love, we don't kiss, we don't hold hands, we don't laugh, we don't cry. We don't breathe in air. We don't see through these eyes. I mean, there's a lot of things that we take for granted being in these bodies. A lot of things. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in the tens of thousands or tens of millions. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. And you want them to surround you, you ask them. They will in a matter of a blink of the eye. And you will be in bliss. Now, the off-worlders, the galactics and celestials, over 1,000 species and civilizations travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. We're familiar with a small group: Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. Now, this particular group's been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And all light energy beings on and above and below this planet that we don't see. The reason we don't see them is because we don't see into different light spectrums. We don't see into violet, ultraviolet, red, infrared, blue, ultra blue, green, ultra green, so on and so forth. So these come in shapes, color, sizes, forms, configurations that we don't see. But there is a group that we do interact with, and parts of the group where these bodies that we're in are tremendously dependent on part of this group. The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, the magics, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Now ask your body, no matter if it seems silly, body, can you sustain me, the God that I am, within you, without air, without water, without earth, without fire, without ether, without wood? And the answer is, emphatically, no. We're very dependent. We don't know it. It's another thing we take for granted on the elementals. Now, we're all gathered. We're always gathered. We're always one. We're focused on this planet. We're focused on its complete liberation of lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. Complete. Elimination. Vaporization. Through the love that we are. And there's no escape from it. It's in full swing. We're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity, non-ego, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility. Prosperity and abundance. We're all one. And we're all God, and we're all love, and our God force love light energy isn't all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It continues to grow, it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a massive white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This circle of light emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies. The light is the love. It is unmatched of any other light. It is far, far, far beyond any light that exists. Brighter, In fact, this light is so bright, it grays out the darkness of sacred space, and it would take 1 billion trillion suns to even come close to its brightness. And we're flooding this planet, saturating and permeating, head to toe, inside and out. There's no crack, no crevice. There's no cranny, no area, nowhere that is not being flooded with this deep, eternal love, God force energy. 24/7, infinity beyond. Now we begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. Now this ocean of glitter isn't what you would kind of maybe perceive on this planet. It is much more advanced, much more brighter. So we come close by describing a massive fireworks grand finale display and a massive laser light show display, grand finale, and then a ballroom globe that we're familiar with that flashes, that reflects all the light all over the room, all over everything. Except this globe is 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense. So we combine them all. And in one massive crescendo, all at once, expressing themselves, describes the ocean of glitter. Now, we're very curious beings, so we go and we explore the reflected points of the ocean of glitter, which are everywhere. And we notice these little tiny microscopic mirrors perfectly etched. And we go in them. And then we discover every single form inhabited by a God is teaching and learning, experiencing. Teaching, experiencing, experiencing, teaching. All the time. This is infinity and beyond. Your dog, your cat, your horse, your cow, any animal, rock, tree. We were told the tree was life, right? The God enters the tree. The mother supports the tree until the God enters the tree. God gives the tree life. What's the soil? God. What are the nutrients? God. Remember, there's no separation. Everything you experience on this planet is God in a different form. Always has been and always will be. Ever, beyond, and forever. So we're always learning. The thing is that we're so preoccupied with this external, material, physical world that we forget to the real journey, which is within, of rediscovery of who and what we are. We're immediately met with emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column of light that we created to remind all of us, the gods that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, infinity and beyond, we are protected by a white fire armor. Nothing like the armor on this planet, way beyond that. This white fire armor is what? The highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest, eternal love, of which we are. Now, all lower dark matter frequencies cannot stay in that field and that frequency without vanishing, vaporizing. So they stay away. So no demon possession, no lower dark matter, lower survival matter frequencies can come in, ever, period. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequencies low enough, consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, anger, fear, revenge, envy, hurriedness, manipulation, deceit, jealousy. You lower your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor to allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then you open it up to demon possession, attachment, many things. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. First part of this column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this part of the column to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them back to pure consciousness where they're no more. We are then met with the other part of this column of light, the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies work, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with a golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we all created, the gods that we are within these bodies, to remind us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the trees and the forests, all the animals, all the mountains, the skies and the clouds. We're everything. So the next time that you do view any of these, sunset, sunrise, starry-lit night sky, it is you, the God within that body. There's no separation. We were taught that it is separate from us. That is the God that I am. Through the heart-mind, that is the God that I am. Look at that beautiful ocean front. That's the God that I am. We continue to ascend above the planet, and some of us decide to step out of our physical form, for carrying physical form, and hover effortlessly above it. And the reason we do this is because it's really fun, and we can. We immediately come in full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. Now, we created this. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. Now, in the center of the column is this massive oblong sphere. Center of the sphere is a golden white ball of light. It is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. Now, they've created this massive, super bright, white, electrified, sparkling cloud, mystic cloud. It is absorbed through our heart minds. And it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. Now, the golden white ball of light, we discover, is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes well-being, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, super massive, spectacular prosperity, and super massive, spectacular abundance. And we discover that all of this is a reflection of the gods that we truly are within these bodies. We see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds all of our meditations, 1,800 of them in perpetual motion, which means they continue to grow, they continue to intensify, and they continue to expand. And all of these, this is why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. As well as the golden ocean at the top of the crystalline tower that we created. Golden ocean comes cascading down 360 degrees, infinity and beyond, flooding this planet with the purest, deepest, eternal love. Liquid love, just saturating, permeating, flooding everything. And we are the golden ocean. We are drops in this golden ocean. We are also the essence of this golden ocean. The golden ocean is the drops, and the drops are the golden ocean. Now, you can tap into any of this whenever you choose, through your heart-mind. It is time to release any mental, emotional, or physical inner wounds you are holding on to, so that you are more open and receptive to the divinity within. For today, redirect your attention towards the most soft, gentle, loving, healing energy you can imagine. Perhaps it's Mother Mary, or a new puppy, or a soft, fuzzy blanket, or receiving a massage from a divine healing master. Whatever you focus on, let yourself soften and welcome the relaxing, healing vibrations all throughout your body. This gentleness will help you heal in more ways than you know. Imagine a soft, healing energy is penetrating every cell in your body throughout the day today. Notice how your face changes in the mirror when you are focusing on this healing energy. I join you in the meditation and return to close us out. take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Be still. Whatever suffering is occurring in your life, remember that it's simply there because you keep dwelling on it. Stop entertaining these thoughts and realize that you are the master who is always manifesting your experience of reality. Sometime this week or today, take 20 minutes to write down and release everything you think is wrong with your life. As you write it, feel it releasing from your system and proclaim that the opposite thought is now true. Get it out of your system so you can stop thinking about it. Once you stop focusing on what's wrong and start thinking about what is right, your suffering will end. Throughout today, practice letting go of trying to fix yourself or figure out what's wrong, and focus only on what's right with it. Practice formulating thoughts that are constructive rather than destructive today. Think only about what inspires you, excites you, and makes you happy. Your thoughts happen for you, not to you. Spend your entire day focusing on what an amazing and magnificent life you have. Take this with you for the rest of the day and the evening into the following morning, and we'll return here Monday, March 14th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guidance.